You party people, you wrestling freaks, get ready to rock. It's time to unleash the power of Wayne's World, the wrestling scene where the action's hot and the crowd's obscene. Wayne's World, Wayne's World, party on Talk Wrestling. We're bringing the noise, we're tearing down the parts of the old wrestling world with our own brand of fun. So get ready to rumble, the show's just begun. Wayne's World, Wayne's World, party on Talk Wrestling. We're bringing noise, we're tearing down the parts of the old wrestling world with our own brand of fun. So get ready to rumble, the show's just begun. Wayne's World, Wayne's World, party on Talk Wrestling. Talk the best wrestlers, the craziest fans. We're taking the world by storm with our wrestling plans. So join us tonight for a night of pure bliss. Wayne's World Wrestling, you can't miss. Wayne's World, Wayne's World, party on Talk Wrestling. Party on Talk Wrestling.
I have to turn myself on. I kept clicking the other button. It wasn't working. Welcome, everybody, out there to Wayne's World, guys. I kept clicking. I was like, what the hell? It ain't working. It's going to be a screwed up show. But unfortunately, it is working. Not necessarily unfortunately, but fortunately. Got one person out there watching. Of course, they're watching on YouTube. And I would have to guess this is either Laza or it is PJ over in Thailand. Laza's over in Australia. And I do appreciate each and every one. It is PJ. Thank you very much, hon. I do appreciate you being here. Tonight, we are talking Halloween. It is Halloween in America. And it is the 31st of October in 2024. And I'd like to wish everybody good candy. You know, there are some sick bitches out there that don't like Halloween, and they do things to candy and poison the kids and shit. But anyway, hope that don't happen this year. Thank you very much, PJ, for watching. We are going to talk about wrestlers that were monsters or characters in Memphis Wrestling back in the old school days. Not going to talk about the monsters today because there's too many to mention. The Moondogs was one of them. The Moondogs were monsters to say the least. Kamala was another monster. We're not talking about the guys that were mean and tough and big and all that. We're talking about the Halloween things like Freddy. We are talking about the Dr. Frankenstein. That is what we are discussing tonight. Hope you enjoy it. I got a few videos. I did find two different videos on the debut of Dr. Frank. One was by, shit, now I can't remember his name. Tim, I can't remember his name. Anyway, I know the guy. Couldn't remember his name, and I saw the video. I was like, oh, I remember him. I was young back then. I was like 11, 12 years old. So that's been a long time. The other is pretty much the same thing, same video, so to speak, except Jim Cornette makes a comment and makes his comments on everything, and that part of it is a little bit of cussing and stuff. So if you have kids around, put your hands over their ears. Um, Jim Blake, I think was his name. That was the guy that was in the coffin on studio on Channel 13. That's before they went to Channel 5, I do believe. I could be wrong. Ken Dillinger is the guy that actually wrestled as Dr. Frank. But that was one of them things where they also had a bomb threat in the studio that day. They had to evacuate everybody out of the studio except for Lawler and I can't remember the guy's name that was with him, and Lance Russell and the other guy that was in there, Tim, that was actually in the box. And you have the hot studio lights and all that stuff, plus he's in the outfit. And he's in a box. And if anybody knows, if you put a hot lamp on something, it gets hot inside. So he was absolutely miserable. However, I've got the interview from him. It shows the footage. I also had the interview from Jim Cornette talking about the same thing. It's the same footage. I'm going to show both. However, with Jim Cornette's, like I said, he's got a little cussing in it, so close your kids' ears. I've also got one from Freddie. We are talking about Halloween. We're talking about characters and stuff. Those are the only videos I could really find. And it's just like a music video thing of Freddie. My understanding of Freddie was it was Tommy Gilbert. Jim Blake was the Dr. Frank in the box. That's what I said, Jim. I couldn't remember Blake. I couldn't remember his last name. Ken Dillinger is the one that actually wrestled as Dr. Frank. But just the guy standing in the box was Jim Blake. That is the video I'm going to show because I remember him. Once I saw his face and everything, I was like, hey, I know him. And that is who it is. And like I said, with Freddie, I always thought it was Tommy Gilbert. And for some reason, in my head, that's what I thought. I don't know if maybe I was at TV or something one day and Tommy was dressed up as Dr. Frank or whatever, and I just always assumed that it was him, and it was not. It was actually Doug Gilbert, his son. And there is a video on YouTube. I came across that, and he was talking about being Dr. Frank and stuff over in Japan. Now, Tommy may not have been in Japan. It may have been Tommy in Memphis. And I'm not real sure how all that plays out. I know it was the Gilbert family. I do know Doug came on and one of the podcasts and stuff and that I watched, and he said he was Dr. Frank over in Japan. So I really don't know who was Dr. Frank. I do have the video and stuff, and like I said, both videos are the same, except one is with Jim Blake doing the commentary, and the other is with Jim Cornette. If you have not watched Jim Cornette's episodes and podcasts and stuff on YouTube, it is the Jim Cornette Experience, as much as I can remember. I don't have the graphics and all that stuff for that. However, I do encourage you to watch it because Jim Cornette is very, very knowledgeable and shoots it straight. Unfortunately, he does have a potty mouth, but that is okay. If you enjoy that kind of thing, he shoots it straight from the memory, and he does what he can. I did watch Wolfie D's podcast with Danny Davis. I also watched it with one of the other guys that he interviewed. And it was really, really interesting. Really, really good show, except for the only thing being, it's just a still shot on the screen. And it's just, you can hear the background voices and stuff. It's sort of like a radio podcast type thing. And I really enjoyed it. I didn't watch all of it because it's like almost 2 hours long. But I have watched a few things today. I was searching for different things, different monsters, and different people that were in Memphis that portrayed things like Halloween costumes and stuff like that. And it's one of them things where Dr. Frank, I remember that day. I don't remember having a bomb threat in the studio, but obviously they did. I was there that day, matter of fact. And it was unreal, the intensity, I'm sure, of the crowd and stuff, because once the bomb squad came in, they were doing their thing over in the corner and searching the building and all that kind of stuff. And they didn't find anything, quite naturally. They went to commercial break, and they did the segment with Lawler and Lance and Jim in the box. And I can't remember who the other guy was with Lawler. And after that, they went to a commercial break and they let everybody back in. That's why the studio was real quiet during the interview with Lawler and presenting Dr. Frank. But anyway, a little history there. I hope you enjoyed that. Personally, Vicky is doing okay. She ain't having a really good day today. However, she has felt good the last few days. She quit taking a couple of her medicines and stuff that were actually making her sick. They did take her off of her treatments temporarily to make sure that was not the issue. So we are going to have a scan next month or month after next. I'm not sure. Maybe December. I can't remember. And hopefully, cross my fingers, toes, and everything else, that everything will come back just like it should. I went to the doctor today, and it was just a personal physical type thing. And Laza is in the house. And I'm going to show it up on the screen. It says, "Good day, all. Greetings from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia." All right. So, obviously, PJ left, and Laza's in the house now. Cool. Laza, I'm going to catch you up real quick. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and tell my story about me going to the doctor today. I don't really sleep good. Normally, I'm in bed at 6:30, 7 o'clock my time. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I go to work and start work at 7. I drink my coffee and smoke my cigarettes and get awoke and all that kind of thing. And I go to work and get off work at 5 o'clock time I get home. And I'm in bed at 6:30, 7 o'clock, which is not a normal thing for me because I don't watch TV. I don't watch, I may come upstairs and watch YouTube for a minute or work on Facebook or whatever. However, Laza makes a comment. He says, "I can only pop by today. The shows have been an appointment. Unfortunately, it's a lot." I agree. I understand. Not a problem. Got 3 people watching out there on Wayne's World. I guess PJ came back, and I know Laza's here, and I don't know who the third person is. I do appreciate everybody being here. Oh, third person left, or one of them did. Anyway, we have got videos. Somebody just dinged me on my phone. I have no idea. I guess it was weather. No, it was TikTok. I don't care about that. I'm not on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. Anyway, the thing is we've got video of the original Dr. Frank entrance, the debut of Dr. Frank. There was a bomb threat in Channel 13 that morning, and they evacuated the audience and stuff, and then letting them back in, so forth and so on. And we are going to go ahead and show that here in just 1 second. I got to do a new scene. It's going to be media, I think. It's going to be video, and I did not upload it. Dad blame it. That irritates me. I thought I already had all that done. Cannot remember. I don't know where I did it at. That's not it. That's Tommy Gilbert. Wayne's World. Music, managers. And none of that is there. So, I tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to step out just for a second, and I will be right back. I am going to... Why is that not going away? I don't want that on there. Go away. Okay, now I'm back. We are going to show Laza's Pro Wrestling Fan Group, and here it is, guys. Do hope everybody out there enjoys it. It will be just a few minutes before I get back, and here's the music that Laza created for Laza's Pro Wrestling Fan Group. It's facebook.com/groups/Laza's Pro Wrestling Fan Group /. Enjoy, guys. If you have not subscribed, go and do so. Here it is. I'm going to leave it up there just for a minute, guys.
The epic battles fought, the heroes and the villains, the stories that we've got, the high-flying moves, the power slams, the technical grace. Laza's crew, we're in this place to witness wrestling's embrace. We're the last pro wrestling fan crew, a family strong and tight, with every slam and pin, we're cheering day and night. From the legends of the past to the stars of today, we're here to celebrate.
All right, and I am back once again out there, guys. Go ahead and stop Laza's music, and I hope everybody wrote the address down and all that kind of good things. Go out there and watch the videos and stuff, guys. Subscribe, like, share, and everything else. I was going to show, if I can find it. I thought I uploaded the video. Maybe I did not. I can't even remember where I done it, because I've got so many folders on here. It is not even funny. Oh, there it is. Halloween special. I found it. This is the debut of Dr. Frank, and this is with Jim Blake. Matter of fact. They are analyzing and processing, and it is loading right now as we speak. I'm hoping it'll pop up here just like I want it to, and then I can click on it and we can do what we got to do. So, there it is. It popped up. I really love my internet connection. It's really fast.
Did some pseudo wrestling.
Here it is,
I was
guys.
Dr. Frank.
This is the video and debut.
Jerry was also an innovator, and he always understood
Dr.
better
Frank.
than most anybody why Kiss was so popular. I mean, you got monsters in rock and roll. What kid could resist that? So they had everybody from the Mummy to Lord knows every kind of incarnation of some monster that was. And the first one was Dr. Frank. I'll never forget. I was out there in that dang coffin, and he and Lance were outside doing the interview and talking, and they were doing a commercial break. And somebody came in the studio and says, we just had a bomb threat. We got to get all these people out of here. And I thought, oh, okay. I can't get out of here because I'm in the damn coffin. And the whole time, the next whole segment, if anybody ever comes up with a copy of that show, you'll hear no audience noise because they got everybody out. And they went on with the show. Of course, the show was live. And I'm still in the coffin. And Lance and Lawler are out there doing the interview and talking. And the whole time, they've got the bomb squad going around the studio looking for a bomb, which there wasn't one, of course. But I'm thinking, Lord have mercy, will this coffin be any protection if a bomb goes off? But it wouldn't have been any protection for them. And, of course, the show's got to go on.
Oh, no wonder you keep him in there. Would you mind taking...
He's going to be in there till Monday night. And I'm going to bring this box down, and I'm going to open it up. And if there's anything left of Tommy Gibbard when I get through with him today, there won't be Monday night, believe me.
All right, there it was. You saw it right there live, guys. Cannot find how to get me back. I guess y'all can still hear me. Some for stupid reason. Nope, there I am. I gotta learn this new program. They changed all this stuff, and it is absolutely mind-boggling. There's certain things you got to click on, certain things you don't. Still have 2 people out there watching. Anyway, if you would like to be a pro wrestler out there, guys, pay real close attention to this next ad that I'm going to throw up here. It is for NetPro Studios, and the same phone number is to book Downtown Bruno. If you'd like to have him at one of your events or whatever, and personal appearance or whatever it may be, guys, that is the phone number, and the contact is Dan Matthews. So be sure you contact Dan and book Bruno, guys. Here is the video.
If you live near Northeast Tennessee and dream about becoming a professional wrestler, you are invited to train at NetPro Studio Professional Wrestling School in the beautiful Bobby Eaton Arena. Training for men and women ages 18 and up is on Sundays 1 to 5 p.m., Monday through Thursdays 6 to 10 p.m. That's right, 20 hours of in-ring training opportunity every week. Coaches Dangerous Dan Matthews and TNA's Crazy Steve will personalize your pro wrestling training according to your fitness goals, previous experience, and current.
Hey, I tell you what, you should have seen Dr. Frank in 1977.
Hell, I
it was
screwed that
fucking
up.
great.
I just put that video on YouTube
Here
of when
is
they
the
did
Jim
the big
Cornette
reveal in the
experience
studio,
out there, guys. I'm going to
when
show
he had
that
the
in just a
box next to
second.
Lance, and Lance is nervous being next to the box, and Lawler comes out and opens it, and you just see a man in a Boris Karloff mask.
Wow. I believe it was Kenny Dillinger.
Right, that's what I had heard.
But you've heard the bomb threat deal, right? The bomb scare?
Right, that was the same day, right? They had to get everyone out of the studio?
Well, they called in to Channel 5, or was it Channel 13 then? Nevertheless, that they had somebody had planted a bomb in the studio, was going to blow up studio wrestling show today, whatever the fucking bomb threat was, right? They're having the wrestling show. It's live on the air. So in a break, the police arrive and tell them what's going on and blah, blah, blah. And in a break, they get all the audience off out of the studio into the parking lot. And the cops the bomb squad is looking for the bomb in the studio. But they didn't want to make people think that could be something they could do to inspire copycats. So they said nothing to the audience at home, and Lance and Lawler agreed to stay there and do a promo. And it was nothing for Lawler to talk for 10 minutes at the desk anyway, right? So they stay there and they cut the fucking promo while the bomb squad determines it's all bullshit. And next break, they turn around and let the people back in. The home audience never knew. But the one guy they never told was Ken Dillinger. He was in the fucking box and didn't even need to be there. They just never told him and left him in there.
Did they check the box for the bomb?
No.
That is the Jim Cornette experience out there, guys. I can only imagine that being a rib on somebody that has been in the backstage area. So
I was Dr. Frank.
And I am going to stop all that and get me back on the screen. I had to delete all that stuff. It is one of them things out there, guys, where you just never know what in the world is going on. Unfortunately, it is one of those things where it does happen. The next thing we're going to talk about is Freddie, I believe. As soon as this gets done processing and coming up, and it only takes just a split second, and I can get it up here, and it should come right on screen as much as I can remember. It did last time. It screwed the damn ad up, but that's okay. Anyway, this is the music video of Freddy, another one of the characters.
Hear the happy beat dancing to the beat of the
Now, I would like to back that up just for a second, 'cause I want to see if anybody out there can recognize this guy in the back. Right here. Who is the blonde guy in the background? Can anybody out there tell me? Because a lot of people don't know that he was here. And this guy had one hell of an arm. They had a key on a mat, a football, and they threw it out in the crowd, and the crowd threw it back. And this son of a bitch would reach up with one arm. Of course, I can see y'all down there on the right-hand corner. Reach up with one arm out of the middle of nowhere and grab that damn football. He was in the wrong business, I promise you. It is Dustin Rhodes. You are 100% correct, Al Tuttle. That is exactly who it is. And he left here and went to WWE and made a freaking fortune of money. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish the video, guys. Here it is.
Hear the happy beat dancing to the beat of the thread.
A lot of it's real dark.
Make the line back in your head. If your feet up, swing your arms up to move your head both ways like you see him do. Then jump, repeat to the same beat of the thread. Hear the thread. Hear the pretty feet running from the beat of the thread. Those feet you will surely meet up with red. If you feet up, swing your arms up to move your head both ways like you see him do. Then jump, repeat to the same beat of the thread. Hear the thread.
And that is Freddie. Always thought, let me go ahead and take that off. Bring me back on. I always thought that was Tommy Gilbert. According to the interview and podcast that I saw earlier, it was Doug Gilbert, actually. And I did not put one and one together. Maybe Doug wasn't able to do it one day or something, and Tommy filled in or whatever the case was. I know Doug did it over in Japan. So, from that being said, that was the only thing I can figure. It was Doug. I mean, you know, he flat out admitted he'd done it over in Japan and Memphis and so forth. I always thought it was Tommy, so I guess I was wrong. Glad to know that. I am, if you have any questions or emails or anything like that, any suggestions, be sure you email me right here at gregwayne1@hotmail.com. I am also working on a website. I have got a lot of different things I am trying to do. Al Tuttle made a comment about Dustin. He said, don't ever shake Dustin's hands. He's got one hell of a grip, or heck of a grip. So, yeah, back in the day when I was pulling wrenches and stuff, when I worked at the refinery as a pipe fitter, I had a pretty good grip, too. Speaking of grips, matter of fact, Al, there was a guy at the refinery. I can't remember his name. Mr. Timms is what we called him. But he could take a brand new pair of channel locks, and didn't matter if it was big channel locks or small channel locks or whatever. He would take them still with the package, the little, cardboard stuff on top. He could take them like this and just go and snap them like it wasn't nothing. He had one hell of a grip. I messed up one day and shook his hand. I was a little firm, and he squeezed it down and said, "You sure you want to do that, kid?" I was like, "Oh, no, don't let go. That shit hurt." But anyway, Laza makes a comment. He says, Doug Gilbert, interesting. Laza also makes another comment. Tony Myers is doing Leatherface character. Yes, he does a lot over in Japan. I think he did it in Memphis, but I'm not positive. I'm not 100% positive. I do know Tony's a friend of mine, and every once in a while in the blue moon, he will contact me or call me whenever he's coming back and stuff. And he's like, "Hey man, let's get together. I'll be in Memphis and this, that, and the other." I'm always busy because he lives up north in like New Jersey or somewhere. Here recently, he's been in Florida and different places. But he goes and does a tour over in Japan 2 or 3 times a year, maybe a month of time, or maybe 2 months or 3 months or whatever, and then he comes back here and he's here for 3 or 4 months or 6 months, and then he goes back there for another month or 2 or 3 months or whatever. Tony is a really, really good guy, and has made something for himself. I believe he married a Japanese woman, I think. I could be wrong. I know he had a Japanese girlfriend. But anyway, Tony's a real good guy. I enjoy talking to him. A lot of history. Matter of fact, one of the videos I was looking for here a long time ago, he happened to be in town, and he's got an extensive library of Memphis wrestling and wrestling from all over the country and probably all over the world. I was looking for something from when my wife wrestled, and I contacted him one day. I was sitting there at the club. I was like, "Hey, Tony, I need a video of this, that, and the other." He said, "Hey, brother, I'm busy on this, that, and the other. As soon as I can find something, I'll send it to you." So he did. And I ended up taking it and putting it on videotape or disc or something. I can't remember how I done all that. But anyway, and that was thanks to Tony. It was one of them things. The boss that we worked for was like, "Oh, bullshit. She didn't wrestle. She didn't do this. She didn't do that. She was just a little redneck. No nothing. And after he saw the video, that was the main reason that I wanted the video, was to show him. And he started going around. We worked at a strip club, by the way. He went around and told all the girls, "You don't mess with Vicky, and you sit in the other, blah, blah, blah. She'll kick your ass. She's a wrestler, and blah, blah, blah." And he saw all the stuff. And I guess he thought Vicky was a tough-ass bitch. But, of course, she is. Not as tough today as she was back in the day, but she was tough. She didn't take no shit from nobody. Laza makes a comment. He says, "Yeah, Tony did it recently on a show in Memphis." Yes, I saw where he was in Memphis, and I did not get a chance to go say hello to him. I really wanted to. Unfortunately, I was not able to. I have got one more video, I think. Let me go up here and make sure. I got to delete some of this stuff so I can get rid of it. I'm going to go ahead and show this.
If you live near Northeast Tennessee and dream
go ahead
about
and show
becoming
this.
a professional wrestler,
It's the same thing
you are
for
invited to
downtown
train at
Bruno.
Net
The
Pro
phone
Studio,
number. It is
Professional
Dan
Wrestling
Matthews
School,
is who you need to
and the
contact.
beautiful Bobby Eaton Arena.
So enjoy
Training for men and
enjoy the
women
ad, guys.
ages 18 and up is on Sundays 1 to 5 p.m., Monday through Thursdays 6 to 10 p.m. That's right, 20 hours of in-ring training opportunity every week. Coaches Dangerous Dan Matthews and TNA's Crazy Steve will personalize your pro wrestling training according to your fitness goals, previous experience, and current skills. No prior experience or appointment is required. Just show up, pay, and get started. Net Pro Studios is conveniently located at 100 Emory Lane, Kingsport, Tennessee, 37660. For more information, follow Net Pro Studio Professional Wrestling School on Facebook and Instagram. Or better yet, give Net Pro Studio a call at 1-423-398-5014 today. You can also email for information netprostudio@gmail.com.
And I am back once again. All right, there is the full video of NetPro Studio, guys. The phone number and all that is the same thing you need to contact Downtown Bruno. Getting booked on your show or personal appearance or whatever the case may be. Now, I am going to go back to my chats, and it says, apparently, Tony on his plane ride saw Tommy Rich regarding the show he was wrestling in Memphis. Is way cool. Yeah, I saw Tommy, matter of fact, at the award ceremony. Went outside and talked to him for a while. It was very interesting to see him. I also talked to Danny Davis. I talked to Randy Hills, quite naturally. Pat Trammell and oh shit, I can't remember his name now. I wasn't there to see him. I was there to see Joshua, his little grandson. But anyway, the thing is there was a lot of guys that I saw, and went over to talk to Jerry Lawler, and was standing there, and Jerry acknowledged me, and somebody else was in front of me, and they were talking and stuff. So I went over and I started talking to somebody else. Saw Pat Rose while I was there. Great to see him. A lot of guys that I grew up with from back in the day. I went back by, and wasn't nobody in line for Jerry. And Jerry said, hey, sit down. So I did, and he asked me how everybody was doing, how Vicky was doing, and so forth, which really meant a lot to me. And then Dundee come up. He wanted to sit down, and of course, Dundee's not doing wonderful, but he's doing okay. He's not great as far as moving around and stuff. I mean, he's got people that follow him around. And I was like, well, Jerry, let me get up and let Bill sit down and y'all chit-chat, and, I went away. So it's one of them things where I even saw Timmy, that is up in Trenton, Tennessee area. He worked for TNA and in various companies. Guy I grew up with a long time ago. I've known him for several years. Really, really good guy. It's good to see him. He's still alive and kicking. Saw, God, there's so many people. I can't even fathom everybody I saw. And I'm trying to remember who it was that took me outside. God, I can't remember. Oh, Rick Morton. Fantastic guy. Grew up with him too. Knew him ever since he got in the business with his dad, Paul. He used to be the referee and stuff. Him and Ken, wrestled together and against each other and so forth. Before they came Rock and Roll Express, and before they came Nightmares to Danny Davis and all the different other things that transpired with Eddie Gilbert and everything else. I mean, this was back in the day. It was absolutely great to see him. And he told me, Ricky told me, he says, go see your brother. And I have not seen Ken yet since he got out of prison. Not vaguely proud of all this. However, Ken was in prison for 5 years. I never asked him about it. I'm not going to ask him about it. I don't care. He's blood. I still love him, even though I don't agree with things that happen. I don't honestly think that happened. I think it was something that was just out there. You drinking, you do stupid shit, and he got busted. So I don't know what happened. I don't really give a shit. But anyway, Ricky had told me to go see Ken, and I really want to, and it's not that I don't have time. It's not that I don't want to go down there. It's not nothing like that. It's just I'm not sure how to, I don't know, present myself or how to act, or, I want to hug him and tell him I love him and all those things, but I just haven't done it. I mean, and Ricky told me, he said, look, go tell your brother that you love him. It means the world to him. And of course, I've talked to Ken a couple times, several times since then. And I told him, I said, Ricky told me to tell you that he loves you and he wants to see you, which that was a personal thing in between them. They love each other, and it's not like a kinky thing or anything like that. It's a respect thing, and the work ethic and so forth. So from that standpoint, I enjoyed talking to Ricky. I enjoyed talking to Tommy Gilbert, Tommy Rich. I enjoyed seeing Danny Davis. I enjoyed seeing Timmy. I enjoyed seeing Lawler. I enjoyed seeing Dundee. I enjoyed seeing Randy. And the list goes on and on and on. Lazo made a comment. He said, I think Bo James was at the Memphis gig. Yes, he was. I also spoke to him, too. I walked by and I smacked him on the shoulder real hard, which I probably shouldn't have, but I did. And yes, he does. That is true. Laws also made a comment. Did Jerry have hot women by his side, or is he sick of them? I guess he's sick of them because there wasn't any women next to him. So there was a guy selling his gimmicks and shit, and he was sitting there signing autographs and all that kind of shit. There wasn't any women nowhere near Jerry. So that answers your question. But anyway, I am going to look for this, I think, last video that I had. I already showed the video of Frank. I already showed the video of that one. I may have already showed everything. I may have. Let me see. Look, upload videos. Oh, nope, I got one more. I have one more video that I want to share with everybody, and it is Sid Vicious, and he is going as the Lord Humongous. If y'all remember back in the day, guys, there was a movie with Mel Gibson, if I'm not mistaken, and Lord Humongous was one of the participants. Now, I'm going to stop this right here and get me back on screen if I can figure out how to do this. If I just click this one, I think, and hit that. Now, I'm back. Sid Vicious was, or Psycho Sid, as they called him in, I think, in WWE. A really, really great guy. Sid Udi was his real name. He has recently passed away. I hated to hear that. And it is one of them things where this guy was phenomenally, absolutely strong as a damn ox. We had a match at the Coliseum one night. It was him and Lawler being partners, and I don't remember who they wrestled. I wished I had it on tape, but I don't. Quick story before I show the video. And the deal was, whoever the original referee was going to get knocked down and out of the ring, and another referee is supposed to run in. And then that referee gets knocked down, whatever. Another referee runs in, they finish their match, and so forth. It takes like 30, 45 minutes, whatever. So the first referee goes in. I was the second referee, by the way. And anyway, they knocked the shit out of him, accidentally hit him, whatever the case is, and he takes a bump and he goes out of the ring. They carry him back to the back. I run down. I start refereeing the match. And somehow or another, I don't know how, not real sure if I pissed him off. I was getting on his ass, and you're pulling hair, you're cheating, or whatever the hell it was. And he looked at Jerry, and Jerry looked at him, and they both sort of nodded together, and he choke slammed my ass right next to the rope. Now, anybody out there that knows anything about wrestling, there's a certain way to break your fall. If I had tried to do that, because I knew where we was at in the ring, unfortunately, the side of the ring is not real padded. It don't have a lot of cushion. It ain't got a lot of spring. it's like hitting concrete. Plus, I was aware of where I was at, so I couldn't actually break my fall. So one arm was in, and I tried to do the best I could to break my fall, and that one with my feet. And he slammed the shit out of me. I'm not going to lie. Of course, I sort of jumped as he picked me up, and he went completely up. I mean, he was all the way up as high as he could get. And he slammed me down with the choke slam, and I hit that damn hard-ass mat right there on the edge of the ring, right next to the rope. God, I wish it had been in the middle of the ring, but it wasn't. And it actually hurt. So I landed, and I'm like, oh, shit. And pretty much he just sort of kicked me out of the ring. Well, as I approached the apron to get to the floor, it's about 3 foot, maybe a hair bit over 3 foot, to the concrete floor. There is no pads around it. It's actual concrete. We're not like WWF. We don't put pads around the ring and all that shit. It was actual concrete. So I'm on my back, right up under the rope on the apron, and he takes his foot and kicks me, and I take and land over face down like this. I'm laying on the concrete like this. I'm out. I ain't moving. I ain't saying a damn word. I ain't twitching. I ain't doing nothing. I'm dead. So another referee comes out. They go on another 10 or 15 minutes, whatever. I'm still laying there. So the match ends. I'm still laying there. And people are standing around the little barricade thing. They're like, okay, referee, it's over. You can get up. And I ain't moving. I ain't twitching. I ain't done shit. Stacy, the cat, was Lawler's wife or girlfriend, I think, at the time. I can't remember. Was standing over me before the match ended. And she said, turn over, referee. I ain't got no panties on. Turn over. I'm like, fuck you. Go away. I mean, I was 100% wrestling. So, long story short, the match ends. Everybody goes back in the back, and there's still people standing there at the little barricade. Okay, referee, get up. Get up, referee. You can get up now. It's over. And I ain't moved. I ain't twitched. I ain't done shit. Finally, I laid there probably 5, 6 minutes, maybe 7. Ain't nobody coming to get me. And I'm like, shit, there's still people over here on the side. I can't get up. I can't do anything. Shit. Somebody come get my ass. I'm tired of laying here. So finally, somebody comes out there and gets me. I sort of stagger ass all the way back. And Jerry greets me at the door, where nobody can see me, and says, are you okay? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm okay. I was fucking working, which really I wasn't, because my back really was hurting. And I sort of limped back to the dressing room. I changed my clothes and got dressed, and we got to leave. But it was one of them things where Sid was absolutely powerful. Lord Humongous, Psycho Sid, in WCW or WWE or wherever it was he did, or even down in Continental, down in Florida with Fuller's, or actually Alabama. It's Alabama territory. It was absolutely amazing the skill the man had, not necessarily wrestling skill, but his talking skills, his mannerisms, the way he would move, like if he had a mask on or whatever, and things that he done, was absolutely spot on. I have nothing bad to say about the man. Absolutely great. Here's the video of Psycho Sid in the Psycho Sid Productions, and this is Sid Vicious as Lord Humongous. No, it's supposed to be. It didn't play. Why is it not playing? Huh. It's up there. Why the hell it ain't playing? Maybe if I close me out, it'll do it.
He's a big, big man, and that's why he's with me, because I'm leading him right to the top. Now you produce a mystery man or you shut up. I'll do just that for you, Dutch Mantel. You talk about how big and how bad he is. Like I said, two can play at that game. Hey, I even got a little music. If the man upstairs can hit that little music for me, I want to introduce somebody, not only to you, Dutch, but to you, big boy. What is this? Yourself a one-week reprieve.
What's that idiot doing here? Back him up, King.
Hey, Dutch Mantel, I can tell by looking at the Master of Pain that he's not used to looking eyeball to eyeball with somebody. And as a matter of fact, he had to look up at Humongous. And if he thinks he's bad, if he thinks he's big, he ain't seen nothing yet till he sees my man in action.
Oh, I think you're probably right about that. Humongous with the King. We'll be back.
And there you go, guys. There was Psycho Sid. Lord Humongous from the movie out there, guys. Have some more comments out here. It says, let's see. Got her back all this way up because Laws made a bunch of comments. Movie. Okay, it says the movie is Mad Max 2. That is highly possible. Laws also makes a comment, says, I don't blame Jerry getting older myself, even though I'm 38, if that's the case, Greg. Could be, you never know. Did you ever referee bump it, Greg? Yes, I did. Matter of fact, Laza, there was a 2-ring battle royal one time. And there was a bunch of guys. Larry Latham, I believe, the Moondog, if I'm not mistaken. I was in one ring, the other ring was on the other side, and he took me, I want to say it was Larry Latham, it may not have been, it could have been somebody else, it's been so long ago, and slung me from the far side of the ring. He took and ran and slung me. I went through the ropes, both sets of ropes, hit the mat, and slid all the way out of the other ring to the ringside seats, which were about 5 or 6 feet away from the apron, the edge of the ring. My wife was absolutely panicked. She thought I was hurt, and this, that, and the other. Of course, that was the thought. That's what I was supposed to do. But I sort of bumped and scooted and rolled and done everything, and I just went, I mean, it's like sliding right out of the ring. It was absolutely wonderful. I still remember that, but yes, I have bumped in the ring. Matter of fact, if I can find it, Brian Christopher, Jerry Lawler's son, too sexy, super kicked me one day on Memphis TV. It's real quick. You just see a blip of him super kicking me in the corner, and that was it. If I can find that footage, I'll try to show it next week. I've got it on tape somewhere, and I've got it on disc somewhere, but I have literally stacks of DVD disc and tapes, and I mean, I've got more crap than I need to organize all this stuff. But anyway, have I ever bumped? Yes, I have, several times. Matter of fact, I was speaking of Danny Davis and the Nightmares and all that stuff earlier. they were being presented the trophy, and Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden down in Birmingham, Alabama. This was back in 1987 when my daughter was born. She's 37 years old, so do the math, guys. You know I'm not lying. I was on Birmingham TV. Jimmy Golden hit me with a baseball bat. I've got that footage somewhere, too. Something I will never forget. When I was growing up, we were in Montgomery, or the Alabama Territory. I was probably 4 or 5 years old, something like that. Jimmy Golden would lay down on the floor and do push-ups. I would lay on his back, and he would sit there and do push-ups, for the extra weight, to build his shoulders and stuff. Jimmy is absolutely strong, 100%. Ain't really got a muscular body, but he is strong. So it's one of them things where, yes, I have done things, and there's so many stories and so many stuff that is in the past. I can't remember everything. I get confused sometimes. Laza also says, Cactus Greg Wayne Foley, bang, bang. I agree. Let's see. Lazo says USWA. It may have been. And he also makes a comment. Sid is Lord Among Us in USWA. May also be Continental. Yes, he did go to Continental as for a while. Downtown Bruno, matter of fact, was his manager in Continental down there in the Alabama Territory. And that was for Robert Fuller. Sid as Lord Humongous was USWA. May also be Continental. I just said that. The Undertaker is Master of Pain. Yes. Matter of fact, Undertaker, Master of Pain, whatever you want to call him, said Callis, or Mark Callis, I'm sorry. His last match was at Adventure River in Memphis. I refereed his last match. The deal was he wrestled Lawler. Whoever got thrown over the top rope into the water lost. I refereed his last match in Memphis. After that, he went to WWE. So now I've got that footage somewhere. I don't know where. It would be absolutely hard to find. I'll have stacks and stacks and stacks of VHS tapes, and I've got stacks and stacks of DVDs and all that kind of stuff. And Laws also made a comment. The Undertaker as Master Pain had a pretty good feud with Jerry Lawler in USWA from memory. Yes, he did. Jimmy Golden was Buckhouse Brown in WCW, I believe. You are correct. Him and Robert Fuller. Matter of fact, Robert Fuller also went to WWE and was Colonel Tom Parker or some shit like that. I can't remember. Colonel something. I can't remember who he managed. But anyway, it is what it is out there, guys. I believe I have showed everything that I wanted to show, and we've talked about everything that we wanted to talk about. Is there any more questions out there that anybody has to ask, or anything that anybody would like to make a comment on? And if not, I am fixing to get ready to get out of here. The thing is a lot of these people from the old school, like, Undertaker and The Rock and Jimmy Golden, Robert Fuller, Nick Goulas, Roy Welch, and the Fullers, and everybody in between. I knew all these guys. I don't remember Foley coming through Memphis. He probably did, but I just don't remember it. And Loves also makes a comment. Refereeing Undertaker as Master Payne's last match in Memphis was way cool. I did. That is 100% true. Because after that, he was gone. He never came back on TV or anything else. Next thing you know, he was on WWE. If you go on YouTube and look up The Undertaker and talking about his first time talking to Vince, Vince McMahon called him and says, "Hey, is this The Undertaker?" And, Mark was sitting there going, okay, somebody's either playing a joke on me, or this is Vince McMahon, or somebody's got a really good impersonation of him, or whatever. Excellent video. I have seen it several times. I still go back and watch it because I find it funny. Matter of fact, speaking of Vince McMahon, Rumor has it he's opened up a new organization, which I don't know if he is or not, and don't really care because I don't watch the current product. But my dad was in the room shaving in the bathroom one day. I just happened to go over and see him. And the phone rang, which wasn't unusual. He had two lines in his house. He had one in his office and another one in my old bedroom. And the one in his office rang. He said, go answer that. I'm right in the middle of shaving. I said, all right. So I went and answered the phone and said, hello. Yes, this is Vince McMahon, the WWE or WWF, whatever it was at the time. He says, can I speak to Buddy Wayne? I was like, who? He said, this is Vince McMahon. He repeated everything. He said, this is Vince McMahon, WWF. And, I'd like to speak with Buddy Wayne. I said, yeah, right. And I hung the phone up. I thought that shit was funny. So I went back over, across the hallway to the bathroom, and they said, who was it? And he was sitting there finished shaving and everything. He says, who was it? I said, oh, shit, Daddy, some son of a bitch acting like he's Vince McMahon. He said, that was Vince? Really? For real? He said, I've been waiting on his phone call. I was like, do what? He's like, I was waiting on Vince's phone call. He's supposed to be calling me. I'm like, you're kidding, right? And he's like, no, I'm being dead serious. I'm like, all right. About that time the phone rang, I went and answered again. He said, yes, this is Vince McMahon. He did the same fucking spiel again the third time. He said, I need to speak with Buddy Wayne. I said, yes, sir, hold on just 1 second. He'll be here in just a second. I put the phone down. I went over and told Daddy, I said, Vince is on the phone. He's waiting on you. Daddy wiped all the shaving cream and shit off. He didn't even finish shaving. He wiped all the shaving cream and everything off. He went and got on the phone. Well, what Vince was wanting, and Jerry Jarrett put Daddy in his ear, he was wanting somebody that could make a collapsible ring and build wrestling rings for him and this, that, and the other. And this is back in the day. This was a long time ago. And Daddy told him, he said, a collapsible ring for what? He said, well, we're going to have a match, and it's going to be Big Show and Mark Henry or whoever the hell it was. And they're going to do a suplex off the ring, and we want the ring to collapse. He's like, I'm not doing that shit, and this, that, and the other. And Daddy didn't want nothing to do with it. Daddy was old school. Could have made a freaking fortune. But instead, he turned it down and went his other way with it. And they ended up finding somebody up in New Jersey or somewhere that built the rings and stuff for him. The guy's probably a millionaire now. But anyway, it is what it is. But that is the one time that I did talk to Vince. It's the only time I've ever talked to him. I've never met the man. Don't want to meet him. Don't care nothing about meeting Triple H or Stephanie or anybody else. A long time ago, I had the hots for Stephanie, but after I found out all the different information, I was like, I don't care nothing about meeting her. There's no reason in it. It says, Laza says, Jimmy was Buckhouse Brown in WCW, I believe. He says also Robert Fuller was Robert Parker in WCW and Tennessee Lee in WWF, I think. You may very well be right. He says, I think Mankind may have had a cup of coffee in the USWA. Unsure. I think Mick Foley did come through here. Vaguely, I can't remember him being here. Not going to say he wasn't, but I can't remember. I would have to go back and watch podcasts and stuff, and I want to say I watched a podcast he was on, and he was talking about Memphis, but for the life of me, I cannot remember to save my life. But anyway, Laza also makes a comment, says, very cool story, Greg. Thank you very much, Laza. It's one of them things, there's so much going on behind the scenes, guys. There is no amount of time that I have. It's sporadic. I don't, like I said, none of this is planned. All this is off the top of my head. I'm going to show this, Laza, because I do too. Liza says, I had the hots for Stephanie growing up, and I think she's still hot. Yeah, she probably is, but I don't think you could hold a candle to her. Neither could I. The thing is we ain't got that kind of money. But anyway, that's just funny, haha. Matter of fact, Liza, speaking of things like that, somebody said something. I watched a reel or something earlier. God, I was wanting so bad to remember what the word meant, and I can't remember now. I'm gonna try to remember next week. I'll try to find it again. But it was something that in America we don't consider that word, and what y'all consider the word is like totally ass backwards from what we say, or Britain or anywhere else. I was trying. It popped through my mind a while ago, and I forgot it. But anyway, PJ says Mick was in Memphis around 86, 87, I think. It is very highly possible, PJ. Like I said, I remember something about Mick Foley, but he wasn't here long, as much as I can remember. He made a few shots in, and that was about it. And then he moved. You may very well be correct, PJ. May very well. Laza makes a comment. He says, Stephanie is looking as an older 38-year-old toy boy. I'm keen. Well, if she's looking for a 58-year-old toy boy, I'm keen. And if I can't do the job, I'm sure, I may be too old to cut the mustard, but I can still lick the jar, But that's a personal joke. No offense, PJ. I hope you don't get upset, baby. The thing is it's one of them things where there's so much in my mind, guys. There's so much from my past, so much for all the different guys like Gypsy Joe, Dennis Hall, Rufus Jones, Burrhead Jones, so many of the guys, Len Rossi, Jimmy Golden, Robert Fuller, Ron Fuller, Nick Golas, and all the different stuff that happened way back in the past. There's so much in my brain, I can't process everything. Plus, I forget a lot of things. And all of a sudden, something will pop in my head, and I'm like, okay, here's a story. Same thing like the night Sam Bass died. Him and Pepe Lopez and Hester. Or Pepe Hester, Lopez and Hester was the last names. That was my 10th birthday. I was supposed to go back with him that night to Nashville. And Daddy had a bad feeling, and ta-da, I'm still here. But it was one of them things that I remember. Same thing like growing up, I wanted one of the Tonka cranes, the little toy crane thing. And I don't remember if it was my 6th birthday or 7th birthday. We were getting ready to go out of town. Daddy stopped by Kmart, and he said, I'll be right back, son. That's when you can leave kids in your car and not get in trouble. And he went inside real quick and came out with the Tonka crane. I played that damn thing. I wore the tires off of it. And I really enjoyed certain things in my childhood. That was one of my memories that I do remember. Laza made a comment. He says, Triple H will hit me with a pedigree if I'm not careful, unless he's into the open relationship stuff and doesn't mind. Well, considering he's got kids with her, he may give a shit. I don't think you'd have a chance with Stephanie anyway. I don't think I would either. One of the words, I can't remember what, it has something to do with the whore on the street. Laza. Pardon my French. I don't remember what the word I was looking for earlier had something to do with a girl on the street. A street hooker. It's what you call them. I can't remember to save my ass. But anyway, that was that was the word I think I was looking for, because we call them hookers or prostitutes. Y'all call them something like totally different, which means something different in our world. But anyway, if I run across the video again, I'm going to be sure I write it down. But anyway, we are fixing to get ready to get out of here, guys. Laza made a comment. Pretty fair to say, Greg. I can't remember what the hell the word was. But anyway, we are fixing to get out of here, guys. I hope you enjoyed the podcast tonight. I hope everybody out there has an absolutely wonderful weekend. We will see y'all again next Thursday night at 7 o'clock for Wayne's World. Be sure you like, share, subscribe. Don't forget, I am working on a website right now not necessarily as we speak, but here in the coming months, I am going to have a website, and you'll be able to go straight to the website and see it. And I want you to go to my Facebook page. I don't have all the information yet. I didn't do the link and all that kind of stuff for the page. Like, share, subscribe, everything else on YouTube. Please do. I want you to. You have my permission, 100%. I have to build my new Facebook page up to 100 followers, and I still have 6 weeks, I believe, to wait before I can broadcast on it. So it gives me a little bit of time to go to Instagram and Twitter and Twitch and all the different stuff. I'm still working on to try to get broadcast back into all that stuff. I tried tonight to get back on Twitch and Twitter, and it just did not work. So I was like, all right, I give up. I'll get it later. Something I'm doing is not right. But I am working on a new website. All the videos that are on YouTube will be reposted on the new site. And all that information will be coming soon, very, very soon, the next 2 or 3 podcasts. Again, it costs money. But we are going to make it work and make everything happen. I am fixing to get on the road and start busting my ass to publicize everything. My main thing was the Facebook. The original Wayne's World page is still up. I just can't access the friends that were following me. I've got certain ones that I know that I can message, but I haven't done it yet. But anyway, we are going to get. Okay, I was reading the comments. Sorry, guys. Laza says pro. Now, what he means is I call prostitutes pros for short. And then Laza also made it pleasure. He said it's been a pleasure, Greg. He said he looks forward to the launch of the website, Greg. It will be Wayne's World with Greg Wayne or something like that will be the title of it at .com. I definitely want a .com. That way I have my presence and I can go on all my apps and all the different shit, and I'm going to try to find more to go on to publicize the site and do everything that I have to do. So we are in the process of getting everything done, and it just takes time. That's all there is to it. Until next week, guys, I hope everybody out there enjoyed the special tonight. It is Halloween. I wish everybody out there a ghoulish time. Trying to be like Adrian Street, and I'm not as talented as he is because he could go on forever talking about death. But anyway, hope everybody has a great weekend. I hope you have a wonderful week next week, and we will see y'all next Thursday night. Be sure you like, share, and subscribe. And make your comments, guys. If there's anybody out there that has anything out there to say, all you have to do is email me. And I don't know what I've done with it. It was there. Captions. There it is. Email me at gregwayne1@hotmail.com. Comments about the show or anything you'd like to see, be sure you do so. It is gregwayne1@hotmail.com. All right, guys, we are getting out of here, guys. We hope everybody out there enjoyed it. We'll see you next week. Until then, this is Greg Wayne for Wayne's World saying so long, everybody.